So I know this run is not a record or anything. It's just that I spent so much time doing this that I wanted to upload it. This is based on the 3 stars only run, 3 stars and lower. I link it in the description. That was a really cool run. I tried to copy it. I don't know if it was because my cardigan wasn't full trust, if it was because my freestone wasn't full potential, or because I just couldn't do it right, but I couldn't replicate that. So I did this one. What do you need? For defenders, if you want to substitute one with a better unit, I suggest you substitute Cardigan, but like use Cardigan where I use Beagle and use your better defender where I use Cardigan. That would make the first phase of the run and a bit easier, and also the second phase. Yep. There are quite a few situations where Cardigan is at risk of dying. Then you need a sniper, because it's fine, a cheap sniper, you don't really need anything more. A ranged guard, Midnight works perfectly. I think any ranged guard would work apart from Frostleaf. Earth damage is nice though, or any good attack skill. Any area of effect guard, any Centurion, but one that does at least as much damage as Popular. Any medic, any single target medic. Ansel, you really specifically need Ansel's range here. I think even Silence couldn't do exactly what Ansel does here, because the drone lasts a bit less than Ansel's skill. Maybe if you're using Shu instead of Cardigan, I guess. I mean, with Shu, she doesn't really need the additional health. Shirayuki, you can use Meteor, what is the thing? You can use Catapult if you want. It just needs to be an area of effect sniper. Shirayuki kind of helps a bit because with earth damage she makes the phase 1 go faster, but it's not necessary. Gravel, fast redeploy, she just needs to tank a few hits. Narantuya, I had to borrow a unit, she's still Elite 1, because I don't have any Elite 2 in the team, but yeah, she is the damage dealer that kills the boss in phase 2, so that we don't leak the boss after 200 seconds. I put Stuart in for recording the video to make sure to kill the boss in phase 2, because I noticed that sometimes I couldn't kill the boss in time. But in my original run, I actually didn't use Stuart. So you can just do this with, you can do this with 11 of your operators and an Arantuya, or 12 of yours if you have an Arantuya yourself. But yeah, Stuart does earth damage and helps to kill the boss a bit faster. You can add him. Or any other caster, I guess. So Narantuya, she's just here because she does a good amount of damage at short range. The physical damage is good enough to even damage the boss, and she kills the popcorn cards before they actually get near to your operators. She's really good at this. I guess you could use a strong flinger maybe in her place. Probably can do the same thing. The thing is, this Narantuya borrowing is full potential, but the Narantuya used for my original run when I cleared the stage the first time was actually no potentials. The thing is, that guy with that Narantuya was not in my friend list, and the only Narantuya I have in my friend list is this one. So to record the video, I had to use the full potential one. The potential doesn't matter, any Narantuya is enough. Just needs to be level 80, skill level 7. You don't need anything else. Probably Chen can do the same job. I mean, you just need the damage. Note that while this is based on the 3-star only run, this is slightly different, the opening is different, and I think it is overall slightly easier to follow because it switches operators around a bit less thanks to Gravel always being a good lightning rod. The shape of the fireworks is this one. It works fine.
with you.
Okay, double medic.
There we go.
I mean, medic,
Okay.
guard, and second medic on the guard. It is slightly better if you place Ansel on the lower tile of the two medics.
Please hold on.
Like, you can switch them, but you want Ansel to reach this tile. He will reach this tile in both positions, but this tile is useless, while this tile sometimes can be useful, so this is better. Now, we want an attack to hit cruise, but not this one, the next one. Okay. The next attack will go on cruise, and then after the attack animation starts, we deploy Cardigan.
Understood.
The timing here is a bit random, so sometimes the attack comes earlier, sometimes later.
Awaiting your
The
orders.
wall
Medication is
will
yours.
always come at this
Take it.
point, so trigger Ansel skill to help Cardigan survive.
In fresh
Trigger
blood.
midrange skill to kill the enemies a bit faster.
Here I
Also use Cardigan sound skill, then get a couple of hits
am.
on Gravel to take away some pressure. Gravel can take 3 hits. On the third, she usually dies. You can retreat her to save some DP, but you don't really need to because you have a ton of DP for this phase, honestly. Midnight skill should be able to kill this enemy.
There is no
Oops.
hesitating in battle.
When that happens, Noir is the answer.
There you are.
You need a defender here at the start of the carnival. Okay, at this point, personal summon preference, I let the enemies hit this thing for a bit.
Here I am.
Okay, that's too much actually. Doesn't matter.
Stop this fight.
Yeah, fine.
We don't need to cruise anymore.
There you are. Roger.
And this. We actually almost ran out of DP because we had to also use Noir. Usually we don't have to use Noir if we do everything correctly. Okay, at this point, healing skill to keep Popukar safe.
Take it.
We can get some help from Gravel here.
My bad.
You also have spot skill if you want to help a bit more with healing.
Whatever you say. Don't see any harm in this.
Shirayuki here. The only thing he does is damaging the boss. It is to make phase 1 slightly faster, because it is really long.
Mad.
Okay, take your guard.
Any orders for me?
You can leave her.
Don't be afraid and heal that wound in no time.
Now, it is safer to deploy your units while the boss is using that wolf's attack, just because not only does she not use other attacks for some times after she starts that attack, which is nice for damage, but if you deploy your unit and somehow the boss locks onto your unit with that wolf attack, your unit will die unless it is a unit with 5 HP and with a couple of errors on the unit.
I will protect us
We
all.
just do this. And now Cardigan is the one that is taking all the attacks. Perfect. So when the carnival starts, we have Midnight and Popukar. Always deploy Midnight first. If possible, you don't want Midnight to get hit. So,
I've
this.
arrived.
I forgot to retreat spot, that's why I didn't have space to deploy units.
Please stop her.
Completely forgot it existed.
There you are.
Okay, why Midnight first? Because if Popukar dies, it's not a problem. There is Cardigan behind there. Cardigan can tank everything. I forgot an anti.
Relax. I'll always help you out. I've got an idea.
Cardigan stops the enemies and not a problem. If Midnight dies, you will have to deploy something in place of Midnight like Noir,
There you are.
which is a bit annoying.
Bathe in fresh blood.
So we want the boss to attack Popukar first. Sometimes Midnight will still die, in that case just deploy a unit here. Yep, like in this case. So we deploy
Here I come.
Noir, and because otherwise Noir dies.
Here I am.
Oh yeah,
Exterminate.
heal to do some damage. Okay, now,
What's up?
why did I let the enemies damage the firework? Okay, as you can see, we are using the burn damage. The first firework will usually never do a full circle because it gets damaged a bit, but a firework that doesn't get damaged does a full circle. So what's the idea? You do almost a full circle with the first one, and then after that, at the start of every carnival, there will be an instance of burn damage. For this strategy, you want the boss to get the burn damage at the start of a carnival, so that she goes into phase 2 at the start of a carnival. The problem is, sometimes a full firework does a circle and a tick. If it happens, and it happens repeatedly, it can happen, and you didn't let those enemies take that couple of extra swings, before you finish phase 1, you will get the boss that takes 2 instances of burn damage in a single carnival, and then you will have the boss that takes the damage at the end of the carnival, and that will completely mess up your strat. So that's just for safety. Okay, now phase 1 is really boring. I will speed up the video and shut up. Okay, here I'm going to try and manipulate the boss health a bit. I want the boss to attack gravel if possible. I don't want Midnight to die. I want him to stay alive for longer so that he can get some extra damage on the boss. Okay. This is all good.
What's up?
Ready.
I use the decorations on the stage to check the boss's health. The thing to remember is this decoration here, this one. When the boss's health goes below this decoration, 2 instances of burn damage, and the boss goes to phase 2. Don't lower it too much, otherwise 1 instance and it goes. Now, with 2 more... Oh, I forgot to read an Antuya.
I'll
That was a
always
mistake.
help you out.
Now we want to start deploying our operators, but because I was late in Narantuya, we will be a bit late with everything. My bad. Okay, Wolves. We can start with Shiryu here because she's alone there and doesn't really interfere with anything. This is just to block this wave. She also doesn't matter with Narantuya's deployment order.
There you are.
Okay, Narantuya goes here.
Toxins and traps are my tactics.
Change mod.
I've swallowed up the sun.
At this point, we can retreat him. We put Midnight here,
I've arrived.
There is no hesitating
and then
in
Spot here.
Yeah,
And then we
yeah,
don't need
fine.
to lose anymore. And we are done. This is the setup for part 2 of the boss. The only thing where the deployment order actually matters is these 3. You don't want the boss to target Narantuya, so you want to deploy Midnight after Narantuya, and you want Spot to be the last one you deploy.
First aid
So
box
that
is
the boss
medication
attack will
here.
go on Spot.
Take it.
Doctor?
Answer skill helps Popokar a bit, but you don't need Popokar to be healthy. You just need Popokar to stay alive until the carnival starts. Another thing, Spot should be able to survive one round of Wolves without even need of any skill. So you can just save your skills for when the stage starts. For when the carnival starts, for phase 2. Okay. Okay, phase 2 starts. Spot safe. When the boss comes here, you can just trigger Midnight skill, Shirayuki skill, everyone's skill, because you kind of want to do as much damage as you can. And here you need skill, and here you need to block these enemies for a while. Okay, good job, Popukar.
Whatever you say.
Here
Don't see
you
any
can use
harm in
skill.
this.
Okay, when Lapland does this thing, you can let these enemies go. Lapland will teleport here and she will deal with all these enemies. You don't want your ship to take too much damage this time. Lapland? A bit faster, please? Why are you not doing your job? Great. Okay, now we can just block with her. Use the medic skills. Oh, block these two guys.
I've got this.
Okay. Now we don't need spots anymore. No, I don't know if this guy comes down or goes straight. I don't remember. So gravel to help here. Good. Okay, we need to deal with these guys
Very well. Shadow.
while Shirayuki deals with these ones. Okay, gravel will be targeted. Okay, great job, Shirayuki. A bit of extra damage is always nice. We can use cruise to finish these guys a bit faster.
Here I am.
We actually can retreat
Come on, say
this.
something.
Sure.
It's not necessary, but we can use gravel to deal with these guys, so that they don't go on the fire and take it out. Narantuya can deal with the cards on her own. Okay. Other thing we can do, we can add
Fresh blood.
Stuart to
Understood.
help a bit, trigger skill, Shimon it, and put Popukar here. Okay, now we trigger the carnival. Stuart dies, doesn't really matter. Good.
Ready.
Shirayuki, do your job.
There is no hesitating
We can
now.
actually let this go and put Spot back here.
Alright then.
We can stop these guys so that the carnival lasts a bit longer. Okay, don't need that anymore. Now we will allow Lapland to come back here during the carnival so that Narantuya can deal a ton of damage. Good. Welcome back, Lapland. And now we kind of want one more carnival.
Here I come.
We have dealt with everything else, so we just need to kill the boss.
I won't sleep on the job. Gather up, my rats. There you are.